What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and I want to talk a little more, do a follow-up on what I talked about yesterday on this channel and on Geeks and Gamers with the Kathleen Kennedy interview, what she said about not having any source material. And I'm a little calmer. It's been about 24 hours since I recorded that initial video, so I'm a little calmer, not as triggered. Now, a little bit apart from it, so I kind of want to do a little deeper dive onto why I was so mad. Why so many Expanded Universe fans yesterday came out and were just so furious because it's just like reopening this 5-year-old wound that is never going to close, but you're kind of dealing with it, and then somebody just throws salt in it, and it was really frustrating. So just to recap real quick, let's bring up the article again and get to the point that the first thing in the article, basically, that really irritated a lot of us. Now, this is an interview with Rolling Stone. I've been told that Lucasfilm asked to do this interview to get, as part of, to get a bigger attention for the upcoming Rise of Skywalker. And there is a lot of things to go over in this article, but the thing that obviously made me so mad was this question. Jurassic World director Colin Trevorrow was slated to write and direct Episode 9 before you brought J.J. Abrams back in. Is his final entry in the trilogy a particularly hard nut to crack? Every one of these movies, she says, is a particularly hard nut to crack. There's no source material. We don't have comic books. We don't have 800-page novels. We don't have anything other than passionate storytellers who get together to talk about what the next iteration might be. So again, that was the very frustrating part to hear as someone who, in 2014, all of this stuff behind me is Star Wars Expanded Universe. All of it. This is all the source material that they could have had. And I've talked about, before what really got me into this community. And I want to go back and talk about my feelings in 2014 when that happened. In 2012, I was so excited that Disney bought Star Wars seemingly out of the blue because I wanted to see so many of the stories that I loved come to fruition on the screen. I wanted to see how they would translate. I never thought that was even a remote possibility. I didn't think there was any interest for George in doing any movies afterwards. I thought the Clone Wars was kind of it. That's all we were going to get. And I was kind of meh about that. So when Disney bought Star Wars, I thought, wow, Disney is going to make movies. There's no way they won't make movies, right? I'm finally going to see what I saw played out in these books, these characters that I grew to love so much. Jason, Jaina, Solo, the evolution of the new Jedi Order, Luke Skywalker making the Jedi Academy, all these knights, Corran Horn, Wedge Antilles, and Rogue Squadron, what I was going to see from them. Kip Duran, Ganner Rysode in the new Jedi Order era. Were we going to see anything from even the books that had already been written? Were we going to see those come to life? Were we going to still take place in this universe but do things we haven't heard of before? I did a video a couple weeks ago about what my idea for the sequel trilogy would have been. And that would have been taking place after Crucible. So after 45 years after the Battle of Yavin, after A New Hope, where the actors would be the right age. We would be to introduce these young characters like Jaina Solo, Jagged Fell, Ben Skywalker to the masses. And you could do it in such a way that it would be fantastic. You'd have a strong female character that you wanted with Rey. You'd have that in Jaina Solo. And I had so many ideas going on in my head of what could happen and the possibilities. It was so exciting. 2014 comes along and they throw it away. And I need to pull the quote up again. Damn it. All right, here it is. So this is from comicbookmovie.com. I couldn't find this quote yesterday because I was so mad. I was just going off everything, right? I was just going by the seat of my pants. But here it is. You can read the original 2014 announcement by clicking here. The official statement reads, in order to give maximum creative freedom to the filmmakers and preserve an element of surprise, Star Wars Episodes 7 through 9 will not be the same story told in post-Return of the Jedi Expanded Universe. So we're taking away the Expanded Universe, making it canon. Or making it non-canon, making it Legends. And That was so disheartening, and it set off this firestorm in, in the fandom of the expanded universe. It used to be in the expanded universe, we would sit there and have arguments over who would win in a fight or which era was better and why and things like that. And then all of a sudden, it was just like crushing. Now we started arguing with Disney fans like, well, this is why we want this. This is why we want it. And this is why we want our stories told. This is why this sucks, to have everything kind of ripped away from you like that. And what happened after that was really disappointing, where you had a lot of people in Lucasfilm, whether they were writers, whether they were storyboard people, whether they're just employees, whether they're people with YouTube or social media accounts that want to be in, I don't want to say shills necessarily, but want to be in with Disney Lucasfilm. You had them coming and hammering down on these expanded universe fans, painting a false narrative of so many people, calling names, assigning blame to the entire community at large when it was just one or two people. I saw all that happen back in 2014. So when The Last Jedi came out and the fandom menace really kicked into full gear, I saw so much of what had happened to me as an expanded universe fan happening to everyone in the fandom menace. And of course I hated Last Jedi, but it was more that treatment of people and the lack of respect to the fandom, that it was like parallel paths we were going down just a couple years later and at a much greater scale. So seeing this just brought up all those old wounds for me. And I was on Drunk 3PO stream last night with Abu Nas, and he just asked a simple question about the legacy of the Force era and like, what do you think George Lucas would have wanted to do? And I got talking, and I got pulled into Legacy of the Force. I love that so much, and to think that, and you should have seen the people in chat going off about how they would have loved to see that and all this stuff. That to me is what makes it so frustrating when Kathleen Kennedy comes out and says something like, we don't have any source material, we don't even come up with this, because they threw it away. You threw away everything you needed because of your own pride, your own arrogance, your own desire to create something yourself, even though you haven't really created anything. So sad and disheartening, but that's what it was. I kind of wanted to explain a little more, when I wasn't so rage-fueled. I wanted to explain a little more of why I felt the way I did yesterday. If it was your first time watching my channel or don't really know anything about the expanded universe, that is kind of where I came from on that. So I hope this is a little eye-opening, a little more calmer. Probably won't get the same views because it's not as rage-filled, but that's okay. I hope that you guys get the point that I'm trying to make. But what do you guys think? 24 hours removed from that initial story coming out, I obviously feel the same way, but I'm a little calmer. You guys blew up the comments. It was awesome to see your support yesterday. I appreciate it. Make sure you leave a comment below about how you feel about this video. Maybe some of the feelings you might have had when you read that, or in 2014 when they took away the expanded universe. Let me know in the comments below. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell for notifications, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.